Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
Auckland is facing a worsening homelessness crisis, with a sharp rise in the number of people sleeping on the streets. Untrained teams have recorded 809 rough sleepers, a 90% increase. Since September, Helen Robinson, an Auckland City Missioner, has met with government officials to demand changes to emergencies. She calls it a moral shame on our country and says the tightening of housing rules has made the problem worse. The housing minister, Chris Bishop, has engaged with providers to understand the situation better, while the Auckland Council has also reconsidered Pama Potaka acknowledged the complexity of the issue and highlighted Kamba. But with more than 113,000 homeless people across New Zealand, the urgency for action is clear. The voices of those on the streets are louder than ever, demanding a solution that ensures no one is left without a home.
A powerful earthquake of magnitude 8.7 has struck off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia, sending shockwaves across the Pacific and prompting a reassessment of Suez, SOAR New Zealand, initial measured at 8.0, marking the strongest earthquake globally this year, while the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, initially stated there was no immediate threat. The upgraded magnitude has led to a renewed evaluation of Pateshik Sea, Tsunami, or Wayne Subation. MEMA and G and science are currently analyzing whether the quake has generated a tsunami that could affect New Zealand. Though the immediate danger seems low, the event highlights the unpredictable nature of seismic activity and the need for vigilance as the situation of this incident also causes the importance of international collaboration in monitoring and mitigating natural disaster risks across the Pacific.
A massive earthquake has rocked the Pacific, with the initial tremor now upgraded to an 8.7 magnitude quake. The epicenter was located off the coast of Russia near Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, sending shockwaves across the region and triggered a watch for several islands, including Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands, with the earliest waves excoughs. In Hawaii, a full tsunami warning has been issued, urging residents to evacuate coastal areas immediately. The first wave is expected to hit as early as 7:17 p.m. local time. Other regions, including parts of Japan, Chile, and the Solomon Islands, are also under threat of tsunami waves up to 3 meters high. Authorities are urging people near the ocean to move to higher ground and follow all emergency instructions. This quake, one of the strongest in the region in decades, has highlighted the importance of preparedness and the need for international cooperation in the face of such natural disasters.
A powerful 8.7 magnitude earthquake struck near the eastern coast of Russia, sending shockwaves across the Pacific and triggering a tsunami alert in New Zealand. The National EMA has warned that strong currents and unpredictable surges may hit coastal areas, with the potential for dangerous conditions in the hours following the quake. While no injuries have been reported in Russia, officials describe the earthquake as the strongest in decades. In New Zealand, nearly all coastal regions of the North and South Islands, including Stewart Island, and the Chatham Islands have been placed under alert. NOEMA has urged residents and visitors. Japan's meteorological agency has predicted a tsunami with waves up to 1 meter high, expected to reach coastal areas in the afternoon. The U.S. Tsunami warning system has also issued alerts for potential destructive waves along parts of the Russian and Japanese coast. Meanwhile, in Sakhalin, this event goes the unpredictable nature of natural disasters and the need for communities to remain vigilant and follow emergency guidelines.
A massive earthquake of magnitude 8.8 has struck off the coast of Russia, sending shockwaves across the Pacific. The USGS has upgraded the initial 8.7 measurement, marking one of the strongest quakes in recent history, with the situation is escalating rapidly. Hawaii has ordered evacuations along Oahu's coast, with the first destructive tsunami wave expected around 7:17 p.m. local time. Other regions, including Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and parts of Japan, are also under watch. Officials warned that tsunami waves could reach heights of up to 3 meters in some areas, with threats as the first wave approaches. Communities are being urged to move inland and stay away from coastal areas with unpredictable wave heights and the potential for multiple surges. The situation remains highly volatile in the developments, as the disaster's full impact is still being assessed.
Earthquakes are among the most powerful natural forces on Earth, and their strength is measured on a logarithmic scale. A magnitude 8.8 earthquake, like the one that recently struck near Russia, is 10 times more powerful than a 7.8 quake and can trigger massive tsunamis. These events remind us of the devastating power of nature, like the 2011 Japan earthquake, which killed nearly 20,000 people, the 9.5 in Chile in 1960, causing a tsunami that reached New Zealand and prompted the creation of a formal warning system, while citing Sappada Fage. Understanding the scale of these events is crucial for building safer communities and improving global early warning systems.
In New Zealand, authorities are now investigating more than 40 trafficking cases, a sharp increase from just 6 investigations between 2018 and 2020. Despite a surge in investigations, No Prostello has expressed concerns about the growing scale of trafficking and the lack of public awareness. She points out that many people confuse trafficking with issues like underpayment or lack of holiday pay, making the problem harder to address. The last trafficking case to be prosecuted was in 2020, when a man was sentenced to 11 years for exploiting 13 Samoans over 25 years. The Ministerial Advisory Group on Organized Crime has warned that exploitation is likely underreported and growing, especially in industries like horticulture, and clearer mandates between agencies to improve Asians reaching the court. With the government's 5-year action plan on trafficking set to expire, the urgency in Indy Fort. As the issue remains underreported, the focus is now on ensuring victims receive the support they need and that perpetrators are held accountable.
A controversial internal police directive in New Zealand has led to a dramatic drop in retail crime investigations. The directive, which set financial thresholds for cases involving theft and fraud, caused other areas like Tasman saw a 56% decrease, while Auckland experienced a 26% drop. The directive, titled Assignment Changes, Theft and Fraud, instructed officers to ignore cases below certain value thresholds, such as $200 for general theft. The policy sparked immediate backlash, with victims receiving emails informing them that their cases would not be investigated. Police Commissioner Richard Chamber later scrapped the directive, calling it confusing and unhelpful. A review is now under cases should be re-evaluated. The review will be conducted by the police's data quality team with the goal of balancing local resources and commutes. The directive has raised important questions about the justice system's rise of the finance. The public and retailers are watching closely to see how the police will address these concerns moving forward.
Nurses across New Zealand are walking off the job in a nationwide strike, demanding better pay and safer staffing levels. The industrial action has sparked warnings from Health New Zealand that emergency departments should be used. Stoffen Pisen bore 36,000 nurses were in Vassenstroth. Nurses and supporters are calling for urgent government action, saying that understaffing has reached crisis levels, with some hospitals reporting shifts with only 2 nurses. Short Health Minister Simeon Brown has criticized the strike, arguing that the government has made a fair pay offer, but union lack of investment in the healthcare sector. Nurses describe a system where they are overworked, undersupported, and struggling to provide the level of care patients deserve. As the strike continues, the voices of healthcare workers grow louder, demanding a solution that prioritizes both patient safety and the well-being of those on the front lines.
A knife-wielding man was arrested at a nursing protest in Christchurch as healthcare workers across the country walked off the job in a nationwide demonstration by over 36,000 nurses, midwives, and healthcare staff who are protesting stalled contract negotiations with Tewoch. Witnesses reported the man waving a long-bladed knife and shouting threats, claiming his grandmother was dying in the hospital. Due to understaffing, he was taken into custody for disorderly behavior care workers, and the government overpays staffing levels and patient safety. The Nursal organization is demanding better pay and guarantees for adequate funding and staffing, while Health NZ has offered a 2% increase this year and a 3-month extension to the contract. Union leaders argue the real issue is not just pay, but the lack of reachers solve. The protest choose the challenges facing New Zealand's healthcare system and the urgent calls for reform.
That's all for today's news. We appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this update, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep going.